Okay, there we go. So the NBA has a problem in ratings, and I feel like ever since that became a topic of conversation, a bunch of stuff just happened. Like a bunch of stuff just happened. Like we had like
Fights,
yeah, fight
fights.
the Jimmy Butler thing. Like Anthony Edwards, it looked like he's going through an identity crisis. Like, I'm over here like, what is going on?
Yeah, the accusations about him being a Jordan, Kobe, or even a Dwayne Wade is starting to look kind of weird. Now, this is after a 50-point game, but
Yeah,
maybe it has something to do with the team more than does him. Nah, it's a mentality for him. Like, well, you keep going, Deontay, because I'll go on a rant. Not gonna
nah,
lie.
we can go on a rant about that. We'll have some time for that, but nah, man. Like, I mean, honestly, let's talk about the Jimmy Butler thing because a lot of people are saying his time at the Heat was a failure. I don't know about a lot of people, but there's like a certain group of NBA fans that are definitely like, oh, he's trying to like quit on the team. He said he didn't want to leave and things like that. But I do think the majority of fans are like, nah, like Pat Riley, ran him out. He got them to two different finals appearances. Like he did his job. He did what he came there to do. He maximized his potential. Like a lot of people can't say that.
I think that there's okay. So I was watching a video yesterday about this actually. So the video, it was a guy called Rusty Buckets essentially. So he was saying that it's both of their faults, and I'm on that kind of spectrum because I think Jimmy's probably done some things where he could have done better,
Yeah.
and the extension and money is what is preventing him from wanting to be with the Heat. Then I would
Yeah.
have a problem with that because that they've struck out on free agents lately or even trades. So if you're going to be a max player, you're going to be hindering the roster. So the roster is going to be what it is. You're not going to be able to compete to win. That's how I look at it. With
Yeah.
Pat Riley, I don't know. He could have done a better job at recruiting players and getting trades. And I don't know. I guess it just didn't want to settle for less, but they ended up getting what's his name,
Who?
Terry Rozier,
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
not been good. So it's like
Yeah.
you're a negative, really, when it comes to acquisition. So I would say this, yeah, you could argue that Pat Riley ran him out of town to some extent, but I do think that it's both of their faults. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, it is what it is. Now, the real question is, what team is he going to? What team do you actually think Jimmy Butler's going to? People are saying the Warriors, or no, actually, well, okay. Here's the thing: people think he's going to go to a title contending team. So whether that means he goes to the Warriors to make them the title contending team, or he joins a team that's already in contention, like I don't the Thunder. Oh, wait a minute,
I saw something.
that would be kind of scary.
I saw something on Bleacher Report a few seconds ago about the Suns wanting like they'll be able to give him a lucrative contract. I'm like, bro, these NBA teams aren't the smartest in the world, are they?
They're not.
Because like the Suns, bro, Bradley Beal. Like you have to trade Bradley Beal to the Heat. The
Yep.
Heat want Bradley Beal. He already stuck with this contract. So
Wait a minute. Wasn't Bradley Bill in conversation of going to the Heat a few years ago before he went to the Suns?
maybe I'm
That
not
was
gonna
the
lie to you.
thing. No, that I
Maybe I'm
remember
not gonna
that.
lie. If
That
you
was
tell me,
a
hey,
thing
hey, I'm not gonna
because
lie. You
Jimmy was
better.
still there, and I remember. Wow. What? No, that was
Yeah,
a thing.
all I gotta say is if anything happens where Bradley Bill goes to the Heat and this video was posted afterwards, this video was before everything happened. So it just in
Just in
case, bro,
case.
just
Yeah.
in case.
But no, yeah, people say, like I said, the title contending team, and like you said, the Suns. I think they're in the conversation to get them. But are you giving up Bradley Bill and I don't know a couple draft picks or Bradley Bill and a couple of your depth, which they don't
Their
have?
depth, their team already don't have depth. So
Yeah,
I don't understand why they would do that for Jimmy Butler.
yeah, I don't know.
They
I
would
don't know.
offer him an extension or something like that. I don't know why they would do something like that.
If this was the Jimmy Butler right before he joined Miami, oh yeah, I would do it. But at this point, how old is he? 35, 36?
Yeah, he's 35 right now.
Yeah, and yeah, he's on a tail end. I mean, at this point, you're looking at another 3 year, 2 to 3 years, or whatever his next contract is. Whatever that next contract is probably his last. Unless he's one of those guys who's like, no, I want to play until I'm 40. Like, unless he's that, his next contract is probably his last contract.
You're right, and I think that teams need to learn. For example, like Paul George, you see, they offer Paul George 200 million, and kind of just seeing the drop off in his play and the injuries, and you're starting to see Jimmy Butler have injuries. You're starting to see these star players having injuries. I think in a weird kind of way, I guess you can say Curry, LeBron, and KD, they kind of made these teams think that longevity is that common. And today, in
Well,
the league,
you know who I was gonna say Kobe and
dude,
Kevin Garnett. Them two, nah, bro. They was bro. They was past their prime, bro, trying to get paid. And I feel like they really, I'm just really joking, but I do think they were in that conversation of like past their prime. Why are y'all paying them? Like, come on, man. Like, come
I
on.
think with the Lakers, it was more of a loyalty thing because of what he did, and then also kind of like what Jordan had, but Jordan was still, really, really, really the best player in the league, essentially when he had $30 million a year. But
Yeah.
with Kobe, um, I think because he got injured, it was more so of a loyalty check. Now it did hinder them for a while. It did.
Yeah.
It did. And with Kevin Garnett, I can't say nothing about that. I can't say nothing about that. I don't. I can't say nothing
Boy,
about
the Nets
that.
thought they did something. I'll tell you that. The Nets thought they
No,
did.
the Nets, they're just not a good franchise, in my opinion. Now they've taken some W's lately, but they could have traded their pieces away earlier to rebuild.
I
They
think the
could have,
D'Angelo Russell run they had at first was that was a pretty good time for them. I think that was pretty good. Eh, They
yeah.
were going somewhere when with
I
KD,
mean,
and then it
with KD
just
and Kyrie, and they actually had a squad. They had Jared Allen. Can't remember
yeah.
the other players they had on the roster, all of them,
Then
but
they
I
had
do know
Karis
they were
LeVert.
pretty
Then they
good.
had Karis LeVert.
Chris Levert,
Yeah, they had Karis
yes,
LeVert.
they had a team, they had a squad, but then they kind of did too much in getting James Harden, in my opinion,
They
to
did.
try to run the table. And it's like they were really good when they played together, but they barely played together,
Mhm.
and they just went all in or nothing. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what the Brooklyn Nets did. Like especially in 2013 when they traded for KD or KG and Paul Pierce, I wouldn't have done that. That was kind of dumb. I'm not gonna lie.
I remember having arguments with people in school, and it was like, no, the Nets, they won a championship and they played together. They got chemistry. And I remember being like, bro, they're old. Like, I remember saying that. I was like, they're old.
Their
Uh,
NBA years are grandpas, bro. Like at that point, because of how precipitous the drop off was, or not
mhm.
even just precipitous, just the fact that
The
they
production
were,
just wasn't the same. Like we watching these dudes go up against
yeah,
Kobe in the finals, and you want me to think they about to do the same? No, they were
they were
not.
already old in Boston too. They were already old in Boston, and it's like, oh, we're gonna run it back in Brooklyn. No,
And that was like
no,
5 years later. Like 5 years later, we're gonna run it back in Brooklyn.
it's crazy.
Nah, man. Anthony Edwards. Did you see that last game, or at least watch the highlights where he dropped
Yeah,
50
yeah, that
and
man
then
was scary.
Kane
And that's
had
why I said.
40,
That's why I
bro?
said. That's why I said Anthony Edwards. The accusations, and I kind of pulled back a little bit when I said it may be the team a little bit. But I mean, if you look at it, what other dependable, efficient offensive option do they have? They shouldn't have traded Cat, and I've been saying
Yeah.
that from the beginning. I immediately when it happened, I'm like, Minnesota, you've done it again. I
This
used to live in Minnesota. I like Minnesota teams. So the inevitable always happens. It's almost like the Dallas Cowboys.
Mhm.
Whatever will go wrong, will go wrong. Like,
Yep.
but like it's literally every time. The Minneapolis Miracle is the only thing in my memory that went in. I want to say our favor because I'm from Minnesota. Well, I'm from Memphis, but you know, our favor. That's the only thing within the last 25 years, the 26 years I've been on this earth, that's turned out positive.
He said, in 26 years I've been on this earth.
Because every time they do something good, they
Yeah.
mess it up.
Yeah.
It's in the Vikings, mess it up.
Oh, the Vikings. Oh man. Okay, but this is an NBA podcast.
The Timberwolves
You
mess
was
it up.
about
The Timberwolves mess it up all the time, bro. And it's
uh,
like, think about when KG went to the Celtics.
mhm.
When was the next time the Timberwolves were actually good after that?
When they got Kevin Love, but even then, they didn't even make the playoffs. When
They weren't a playoff team.
They
This
didn't
is
even
their
make the
best team.
playoffs when they had Kevin Love. That's tough. That's tough. So the next time they were actually good, yeah, like the past 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah. Yep.
um,
Jimmy Butler actually was on that team. Yeah.
Forgot about
Anyway,
that. Actually, no, there we go. There we go.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
Jimmy Butler was on the team.
yeah, Jimmy
Last
Butler.
time he was on Timberwolves, they were decent. They were
They were like that was like 6, 7 years ago. Because that was before. Yeah, that was about 6, 7 years ago. Because then was it after that he went to Philly, and then after
yeah.
Philly he went to Miami. Yeah. So
Yeah.
But after KG left, the last time they were good, as in playoff contention, Jimmy Butler, like what, 2017, 2018, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Oh. Victor, where's your mama? This
Don't just say
dude,
that. Don't just say that.
this dude, bro, this dude.
Okay. That's a little nickname for Wimby because like the announcer says, "Oh, mama, where's your mom?" Or
Yeah.
"Oh, mama, where's your?" I can't even say it. "Oh,
Oh,
mama,
mama. Oh,
where
world mama.
Wembenyama?"
Oh, mama. Victor, where's your mama? I don't know. I can't.
No. He said, "Oh, mama, Victor Wembenyama." I can't even say his
Oh,
actual name.
mama Wimbinyama. Is that what he said? Oh, mama
For some
Wimbinyama.
reason, he turned into his name.
Yeah.
But that man,
After
he's
that.
on. Oh, I saw a stat about him. I saw a stat
Yeah.
about him in his first 100 games or 99 100 games.
Mm-hmm.
He has more threes than Steph Curry at that time.
Oh my God.
Right? He's on track to having more threes than Curry so far, right? More points than LeBron, more blocks than Akeem.
Did he just have a 20 and 20 game? Yeah.
Now the blocks
He
above
just had a 20
Akeem,
and 20 game on top of having 40?
no, he had
No.
40 last game. He had 40 and 18 last game.
And then the game
Two
before
games
that.
ago.
Yeah.
2 games ago, he had 40 and 18. The game he just had against the Nuggets, he was 23 and 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
That man,
Oh my
he's too
God.
good.
He is. You know, Victor, though, I mean, like I said, I think he's changing the conversation. He's changing the conversation of, what an all-time great could be. Because, like you said, he's surpassing these all-time greats in certain categories, but in multiple categories. So it's like, oh, snap. Like his ceiling is something we've never seen before. And we've
He's a
said,
modern day Wilt.
yeah,
So
yeah,
he's
yeah.
kind of like the modern day Wilt. Now I'm not like you have to kind of factor
I don't
into
think his
everybody.
passing will ever be as good as Wilt's. Um,
I don't know, bro.
I don't think it will be. This man, bro, Wilt Chamberlain turned around and just led the league in assists because he wanted to. Because he was just like, bro, y'all think I can't watch this? I don't know if
Yeah,
Wemby can do that. I don't. That's why I was like, I don't know if the passing can ever get to that. I do think the rebounding, the scoring, the 3-point, the literally everything else. Yeah.
rebounding.
You said what?
I said rebounding.
I mean, I think if he just naturally gets stronger over time, because he's only like 21, so he's still got a little bit of growth to go in his body. So I think because of that, he'll get a little bit stronger down low around the rim and able to get a few more rebounds. But
I was just
passing,
thinking
I think
comparing.
that's more of a place. That's more a play style, and you can say IQ versus effort, like just effort and your body. You know what I mean? Like that's a little bit different.
I will say this about Wimby. So I think the plays that he can make at 7'4", he can see the defense. He's harder than everybody, so he can make certain reads that other players can't make.
Mm-hmm.
And because the floor is so much more open, then that's kind of where I think the advantage will come from as far as with Wemby being a good passer. But something that I've been pondering about lately with Wemby is I've been watching other all-time greats, and I've been looking at Wemby.
Yeah,
If Wemby can be like 50 to 60% of the post player of Hakeem,
that's
30 to 40% of the dominance of Shaq, 40% of the shooter that Steph Curry is, and like other stuff. Like I can't
if
remember what
he's if he's just half as good or
half as good as
half as
Jokic.
a shooter as Steph Curry.
Yeah, and if he's
So
and if he's half the passer as Jokic, it's over. Like
mm-hmm.
all those things combined, that's kind of my dream scenario for Wemby. Having somewhat of a post game, but also being able to shoot, also being able to have dominance in the paint, also being able to pass.
Mm-hmm.
You look at his games, even some of the highlights, some of the passes he be making, like he'll be in the post, right? Or he'll like do a
Yeah.
turnaround, or maybe he'll get past his defender, or whatever the case may be, and he'll look like he's shooting a floater or it's looking like he's shooting a hook shot, but he'll just throw a lob to his teammate. I'm just
Yep.
like, oh, he's manipulating defenses now, like already in year 2.
Now, if
So
he turns into more of a point forward, that's going to be tough.
he's technically a 7'4" point guard that can just he's the best.
Yeah.
Well, okay, here's the thing about Wemby. He is the best player in the league at something.
Yeah.
Already.
Oh, yeah.
Really in his first year, but definitively in the second year, he is the best defender in the league.
Mm-hmm. If he doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year this year, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
I'm gonna
upset.
be upset
I was
because
kind of
this.
upset last year, but I'm really
Oh,
gonna be
oh, you
upset.
know my stance on last year. No, that was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah,
Because we were
yeah.
like, I have never seen in my life their rookie season. Dudes are going at the rim. They see him, and you see them go, "Nope, I'm gonna go this way." Like in their rookie season,
They're
like,
running away from him. They're
they're
running
literally
away.
running away
So it's
from
like, yeah,
him.
they're running away from the smoke. Like,
They're literally running away from the dude, and he's not winning defensive player. Nah, bro, get out of here.
I will say this: I watched another dude's video. This is a random topic
Mhm.
about if he was commissioner, what would he change about the NBA?
Oh,
Johnny Arnett. So a few of the things he was saying was, at least in a playing tournament, he would include or he would take away the offensive 3 seconds. Um, he would I forgot what else he said.
take away the offensive 3 seconds for the
For the
play.
playing tournament for like kind of just like something to test out because we're in a test out period with the playing tournament and
Oh, I
the
see what you mean.
tournament.
Use it as a
Not playing, but
playground.
the in season tournament. Sorry, in season tournament.
Yeah,
The cup, the
yeah,
cup.
the
So
cut.
like doing things to experiment in the
It's
league.
hold on, real quick. I don't want to cut you off, but it's so funny because I feel like that's been happening a lot, but people know what you meant. Like people say play in when they mean the in season tournament, but you automatically know what
Yeah,
you're talking about. It's kind of
that's
I think,
weird. It's weird.
the NBA needs to change the names of one of them. I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah. So essentially, what he was saying is kind of do what's similar to what overseas is doing, where similar to their rules and see how things will end up. Like allow hand checking for the in season tournament or at least for the cup game to see how the fans enjoy it. Maybe to stimulate some of the old fans, get the older fans back into the game, or fans that value the old school style of basketball. Just those two rules right there. I wonder how much the league can grow from that. But what you think about that?
I think that's a
Experimental. It's
It's an
experimental. It's a little
experimental thing. I think the only thing actually it wouldn't be a problem. The only thing you would have to do is either A, you have to have referees who are used to like officiating games with those rules, or B, you're gonna have to teach the new referees how to officiate a game with those rules. So the officiating, you have to actually make sure, hey, no, they're not gonna call this, or like, hey, make sure you call that, things like that. Because there's still older referees who's been around for that long, but there's a
yeah.
lot of newer referees. So it's like I said, make sure the older ones are there and like none of the younger ones or newer ones, or train up all the like everybody to know how to officiate with those rules. And those people may know what that rule is, but it's different officiating the rule, like watching it versus like, oh, you just know what that is. Like it's different.
Yeah. So other than that, though, what would you say? Like as far as a fan's perspective?
From a fan's perspective,
Yeah.
um, I think it'd be pretty cool. I think it would draw in a lot of I think it draw in a wider audience, like some of the people who used to watch who thinks it's not as physical, even some of the current fans who may have been watching, like to us, like 2013, 14, 15 was like, oh man, they don't do what they used to do. And then to the older heads who watched in like the 90s and the early 2000s, I think it would like it would give all of us something to like come together and watch. It's kind of like Christmas Day games. Like everyone watches Christmas Day games. Everyone watches the finals. I don't think everyone watches the NBA Cup. So I think that would give a reason for like, oh, here's something like everybody's gonna watch.
Here's also what I think. I think there's a lot of things to discuss with ratings in the NBA. So
Mm-hmm.
back to what you said about ratings, I think the presentation of the NBA is totally different. I was watching some highlights earlier today of Kobe versus Dwayne Wade in 2009 when he hit that buzzer beater.
Yeah.
Bro, the music, the commentary, the atmosphere, the crowd atmosphere was totally different from now. I
Mm-hmm.
think there are some things that are a little bit watered down as far as with the NBA that's kind of turning a lot of people off. And
Yeah.
another thing is what I think the in-season tournament quote unquote rule changes would do would diversify the style of play maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But I will say this: players like Wemby, they would average like 5 blocks, 4 or 5 blocks a game. That would be crazy because it's already averaging basically 4 blocks a game right now. And we're in a more spaced out era, so the numbers aren't going to be as good as it would be, if he played back then with the other rules when he could stand
Yeah.
the paint. So, um, Yeah, I don't know. I like those rules. I just think that there's not as much diversity in the way people play,
Mhm.
and at least from the fans' perspective. Now, other people would say, okay, players or coaches and staff, they've done a better job of recognizing weaknesses of the opponents or this, that, and the other. And I'll say a lot of times, where I just be looking at a 3 point contest,
Yeah.
and I'm a new fan.
Yep.
I'm not a new fan, but I'm not like an old head. I start
Oh,
watching,
I just realized something. Okay.
but
This makes so much sense now because I just when you said that about watching a 3 point competition, I got reminded of the Lakers and the Warriors game on Christmas Day, and you remember the crowd was like red hot when Steph was hitting those late threes, like the last 2 minutes. The crowd was going crazy.
yeah,
If you think about it, as an NBA fan, what did you think was about to happen at the end of the game? You thought somebody was going to take a three to win, but Austin Reeves did a layup. The crowd, I mean, first it was at Warriors home court, I think. So that's one thing. But still, the crowd didn't react as much as if Austin Reeves would hit a three. Oh, that would have been crazy. But he did a layup. And even as a fan, you probably were thinking, oh, Steph just hit like literally 3 threes in 2 minutes. Yeah, somebody's going to probably try to hit a three on the other end to end the game. Like you just thought that because to your point, it's just a 3 point competition. Like that's what we're watching at the end of the day.
yeah. And I'll say this for Stephen Curry, I think certain players and certain teams they have that advantage. Like, well, no one else has another Steph Curry on their team.
Yeah,
Another
no.
thing is, Steph Curry kind of draws out the crowd. He'll be in Madison Square Garden if he starts hitting a whole bunch of threes, one-legged turnaround threes and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna cheer him. They're gonna cheer him. So I think with Curry, he's that specific player that brings out the most out of that entertainment as far as watching it. But I
Yeah.
think when we get like role players and even stars settling for threes, where I watched the interview, okay? So with Kobe Bryant, he was saying, like it was like 2019 or 2020 or before he passed, a lot of teams play accidental basketball.
Yes.
They play a
Yes.
lot of drive and kick, and it's not really, they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know who's going to be open. Now, some players do, mate, but like I think the intangibles in the basketball IQ has kind of been something that's been a little bit watered down a little bit, maybe, or maybe they're doing exactly what the coaches are telling them to do instead of, you know,
It's the same thing I be saying in 2K, where I'm like, sometimes we'll win a game, and I'm like, we didn't win that game because we were that good. They lost basically. And so it's like the idea, like that accident in basketball, like, yeah, you did that to get a bucket but you didn't, I don't want to say you didn't have to try, but there's an extra element to it when you
they
have
have to think about it.
yeah, you almost didn't have to think about it. Like when we beat those teams, I'm like, we didn't have to even think about this. They were just that bad. When we actually got to put some thought and put some extra, like, oh wait, what about this? What about this? What about that? It's a different element.
Yeah. So I think that's a lot. I mean, look, I don't know as much as half of these NBA coaches and stuff like that about basketball. I'm strictly speaking from a fan's perspective.
Yeah, we definitely, yeah. Speaking from a fan perspective.
But I do think that something's watered down because at the end of the day, the fans is what you're trying to appease, and if it's a collective of a lot of people, majority of people,
Mhm.
uh, not liking your product because of X, Y, and Z, then I mean that's something to take into consideration. But I think also last year in the playoffs, whenever they increased the physicality and allow more contact, I was glued to the screen.
Yep.
I was glued to the screen. So
Yep.
if you do that, I think that alleviates a lot of what the fans,
Um, the best series that showed that was
the
probably
Knicks.
the Knicks and probably Denver and the Timberwolves. The
Yeah, you're right.
Timberwolves were
They were hounding them.
pounding the Nuggets. They
That's why
were
I'm upset.
all
They why did
over
they make a
them.
trade, bro? Why don't they just reinforce what they're already doing?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
get you another shot creator, maybe off the bench, maybe another point guard, but don't get rid of your key centerpiece. Now I understand it was a money situation, but at least
Nah,
one more
bro.
year, run it back.
The way they took out the Nuggets, we're getting off topic here, but the way they took out the Nuggets, yeah, man, that was insane. That was insane. Their defense was it was sick. That was
I
some
couldn't
sick
believe
work
what I
out
was
there.
watching. I was happy because I'm a Timberwolves fan,
I
or
was
I was a recovering Timberwolves fan. Anyway, I was
uh
recovering. It was nice to see that. I was like, oh,
oh, real quick. Let's talk about probably the biggest news in the past 7 days. D Rose. D Rose getting his jersey retired. Um, What do you think about that? I saw some people, once again, small group on the internet, but they're like, oh, he didn't win a championship. He didn't even make a finals, yada, yada, yada. But a lot of people are saying getting a jersey retired is different than like the Hall of Fame. Like a team could just want to retire your jersey simply because maybe you did, like he was the youngest, he is the youngest MVP. So it's not like he wasn't like he didn't do something historical or whatever the case may be. I think I think for maybe some people, maybe they thought it was a little too early. Like, maybe they thought wait a couple years and everything. I don't know. But I did think that was,
Everything happened kind of fast because I'm not gonna lie, like I saw a video of him like them announcing he's gonna get retired and then he just got retired. I'm like, wait, what? Like that happened just so
yeah.
fast.
Yeah. And it's even crazier because I saw another video. I don't know when this video was, but I saw the video like a couple days before I saw the retirement video. He was in an interview and they were talking about him getting a statue in Chicago. And he was like, nah, the way they make a statues, I don't want a statue.
I saw
And
that. I saw that quote. I saw that quote. D Wade.
yeah,
D
but
Wade.
when they asked him about a jersey retirement, he was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And then I saw the retirement like 3 days later. I was like, what? Like, wait a minute. Like, did y'all
I
see?
thought they said next year. I could have sworn in the video he's like, next year we're gonna do this, right?
I don't like I
They
said,
must
I
have
don't know when
that's
that
what they
interview
were.
was. It was definitely recently, like 6 months or something like that, maybe less. But I saw that video, and then literally 3 days later, the retirement video. So I'm thinking, like, did y'all see that video and decide to just retire his jersey because he like just retired, like literally just retired?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, he had to retire for probably them to do that. I think, right? So, um, I had my feelings about it as well. I'm like, but I will say he was injured. That was the reason why he couldn't do more because he was injured. And based on what he was doing when before he was injured, the youngest MVP ever,
Yeah.
leading his team to 60 wins, leading the Eastern Conference and standings. I think 2 years, maybe 2 years in a row.
Mhm.
So I think that he did enough. And then also you can maybe look at the franchise as a whole. How many other great players have they had, especially recently since Jordan? And he's their best player since Jordan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Yeah. Yo,
he's their
by
best.
far.
I mean, you take Jordan out, you probably have maybe Artis Gilmore or something like that, but like you only have players that are on that level.
No, bro. Since
With
Michael
you,
Jordan, the best Chicago Bulls player has been Derrick Rose. Like,
I'm talking about even taking away Michael Jordan, looking at their whole history. Like
yeah.
he's basically number two, number three at least. Like
I
at the
mean,
low.
some people would. I mean, okay, Scotty. I mean, okay, as a talent, as a what? Like, because some people say Scottie Pippen really is like the second best Bull ever. Like,
Yeah,
I
he's the second best Bull ever, but he never
so
won
like,
an MVP. Even when
okay,
Jordan
but
was
you're
gone, he
saying
could have
okay.
won it
That's
if
why I
he
was
had
like,
an
you talking about
opportunity.
talent as like what do we how we dissecting this? How are
He's
we
number three.
dissecting?
He's number three probably at the
You think it's number
lowest.
three? Okay, I
Derrick
can
Rose.
agree with that. I think I can agree with that. Jordan, Rose, Pippen.
Interchangeable, depending on how you look at it. But I think it's obviously Pippen because of his accomplishments and his skill
Yeah,
set is enough to, and he's top 50 all the time. Like, come on now. But I
yeah,
will say, Derrick Rose is three. You'll be pushing if you put him at four. But either way, he's his best player since Jordan.
yep. Um,
So, and also, I think it's also kind of they did it so that they can show appreciation to him while he's still here and stuff like that. I think that a lot of players like Dwight Howard, they haven't gotten their jersey retired yet. Wait, haven't has he? Like certain players, they don't
I
jersey
don't think
retired.
Dwight Howard has gotten his jersey retired in Orlando,
Yeah, and they
which is
just
crazy
retired.
because Shaq got his retired and he did like the same thing as Dwight Howard basically. Like, I actually Dwight might have done. Hold on, Dwight Howard was like what? I mean,
Um,
hold on, wait, let's think about this. Let's
well,
think
okay,
about
with
this.
Shaq, there's other centers in the league to get TPOIs and stuff, so it was more of a rich competition as far as his position.
I
So you see,
mean, true, but
the man Shaq averaged 23, like 12 and 3.5 blocks his first season, bro.
he did. I remember looking at
He
that.
led them to the finals and beat Jordan.
You
60
didn't have to
wins.
say that. You didn't
60
have to say
wins.
beat Jordan, bro. Why you had to
I
do
mean, that's what
that?
happened. I mean,
Why you had
Jordan
to
was
do
on.
that? Beat Jordan.
Where
Dang.
was it? I mean,
And Jordan came back and said,
yeah. And I'm a Jordan fan. And I'm a hey, but there's context with beating Jordan. But like either way, that
Okay, well, at worst, they had equal accomplishments. I would say that winning Defensive Player of the Year versus being the dominant center, making it to the finals, I would say at least it's equal as far as what they did just for Orlando. And
and I think either way, like Shaq abruptly left Orlando as well. Now Dwight Howard left Orlando in a kind of bittersweet or maybe a bitter way as well for the fans at least. So I think, yeah, like you said, it's kind of more of an even playing field. But I think it's the connotation around Dwight Howard in general. I
yeah,
think after he left Orlando, what happened and stuff like that. So you never know. But like when it comes to Derrick Rose, I think that they wanted to show his appreciation. And the fact that he did go through injuries that was outside of his control that just kind of derailed his career, it's more of a sentimental type of
yeah.
gesture. And he had enough accomplishments to like make it credible.
Okay, okay. I can see that. I can see that. Um, Now that makes me beg the question: what do you? This is very random. Yeah, I know his jersey is going to get retired. Well, actually, I don't know that for sure. I want to say it, but I actually don't know it. But if Chris Paul jersey gets retired, where do you think it would get retired?
The Hornets.
Okay.
Hornets. And
I,
possibly the Clippers too. The Clippers and the Hornets.
I was going to say, I know a lot of people, well, a lot of people that would say if they had to pick one, it would be the Clippers. But one, okay, it was a joke because the Clippers don't have nothing to hang. But
But I will say this. I will say this for CP3. You can't just do one
yeah.
because if you think about it, who else in the Hornets history? I mean, you have Baron Davis. I don't know if Anthony
Mm.
Davis fits that. You have Alonzo Mourning, um, maybe Larry John. I don't know if Larry Johnson is hung up there.
Nah, nah.
But Chris Paul is basically right there with the best player in that team's history,
Hmm.
essentially.
So you
Because
think he has to do both the Clippers and the Hornets?
yeah,
I
he's
see.
essentially up there. He's Alonzo Mourning. He didn't get them to the finals or I don't think he got to the conference finals. I'm not sure. I had to relook at that, but they were a playoff team. But yeah, I think it's pretty even. I think it's pretty even with them. So like he's comparable to being the best player of all time in that franchise. So
You see that? Um,
I wonder if they would hang up Curry's number because because he's from there and then his dad and but anyway, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, they might. They might. That reminds me. Okay, speaking of Curry, yeah, Curry's gonna get his hung up in Golden State for sure. LeBron, you get one in Cleveland and Miami.
Not Miami, but in Cleveland. Maybe the Lakers as well, because he won a
You
chip
think you get
there.
one with the Lakers over Miami? You think
Yeah,
if it had to
because
be one of the, you think it'll be the Lakers first over Miami?
yeah, for two reasons. Because the Lakers, he's been there for 7 years. He went to Miami for 4 years.
Oh crap, I forgot. Yeah,
Yeah,
damn.
4 years. That was kind of like a blip when you look at his career. It's like a
Yeah.
blip, bro. He 22 minus 4, 18 years. With two franchises, 18 years. So
Okay.
definitely Cleveland. The other reason is I think Pat Riley probably wouldn't allow because the way he left, Pat Riley
Mhm.
probably think that he just abruptly left and he kind of left things on the table. Now, if he would have stayed at least 1 or 2 more years, then I think that they would hang it. But I think there will at least be hesitancy on hanging,
But
because of
you
the
don't.
mentality.
But you don't think almost like a D Rose thing because D Rose time in Chicago, like when he was like that guy, it wasn't no 6 7 year thing. It was short.
Yeah, it was because he got drafted in 2008 and he
I'm
got
talking about,
traded
but I'm talking about when he was
2017.
like, I'm talking about when he was hitting, like basically MVP season on. Like it
But that's
wasn't
because of injuries. Because at
right,
that point,
right.
you can make other arguments of the players compared to D Rose. But
No,
the
but
thing,
what I'm saying with Miami is though, LeBron's best player in Heat history. Can we say that?
no, it's D Wade.
Okay. Oh, really? You think? No, 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 no. I'm talking. No, no, no. Not what they. I'm talking about better talent, like who people take all time. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
So LeBron's the best player in Heat history. He has two Finals MVPs, the most Finals MVPs in the league's history. I mean, not league, in the franchise's history, right?
okay.
And on top of that, being basically the reason why they went 4 straight finals, which they haven't done before.
The reason why they lost 2011 too.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I'm just saying, like you said, almost like with D Rose, it's like, hey, that man, best player in your franchise history, got the most finals MVPs in franchise history. The reason why you went to 4 straight finals, won back to back, like, how do you
We have
not?
to also
And
understand the
and
concept with D
it's
Rose.
LeBron James, like, you know what I mean? Like,
You
if
have to
it was like
understand.
like it's one of those household names.
You have to understand the context because would KD get his stuff in Golden State?
Would he?
Would he? Because I think there's a difference between
No,
a
because he's
KD.
first of all, he's not the best player in the franchise's history. Yeah, he has the most MVPs. Steph,
No, I agree with you, but at the time they were calling KD better.
but I'm
That's
saying no,
retrospect.
though, like because we have time to think about it. Like we have the time, like after when you put up the when you get to this point, you have time to reflect. So thinking back on it, if you're asking me that question, I would say is if you say if KD getting his jersey retired in Golden State.
Well, you have to understand in order to get a jersey retirement or a jersey. Okay, for example, when it comes talking about Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, you said the best player in the history is actually Dwayne Wade because he contributed more, which actually makes more sense in a jersey retirement.
Yeah,
The Hall of Fame is what you're referring to as far as accolades to get into the first ballot, like being the better player overall.
but that
But
can
if you're
also
going,
be a factor. It can overlap depending on what you're talking about.
so I think it's a difference between KD and a Curry, right?
Mhm.
Because Curry built that organization. He built that culture. He
Mhm.
built that, you know what I'm saying? LeBron was more so, maybe Pat Riley will see more LeBron as like a rental more so than.
Yeah,
So when it came to D Rose, especially, he built something. Even though he got injured, he kind of couldn't continue. He built it, and that's his hometown. Remember, it's his
Mhm.
hometown. So the context of that, if LeBron, let's say for example, if LeBron would have left Cleveland and he would
Yeah.
have done it better and did a better job of leaving Cleveland in the first stint, and he retired, they probably would have. If he didn't
So
return, they probably would
okay,
have
so
seen
then let me
him.
ask you this question. If you take away the political aspect of Pat Riley, all that stuff, rental, no rental, if you just ask the question, if his jersey got retired, would he deserve it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's basically the question. Because obviously, if the person don't want the retired this jersey up there, it's not gonna happen. But
Mm-hmm.
we have less than a minute, by the way. Real quick, let's take a pause so we can start a new thing. All right, hold on. All right, here
Who
we go.
deserves it more in the Heat's history, Dwayne Wade or LeBron James?
Who deserves it more?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Dwayne Wade. Who deserves it more? Because I
Who's
mean,
more? And then the other question is, who's more of a first ballot Hall of Famer? LeBron James, or Dwayne Wade.
more of a first ballot,
Yeah,
LeBron James.
yeah. So that would be my thing with LeBron. Like players who, there's a difference between players who build the culture and who
Yeah,
build things, and players who kind of are arrived there.
yeah. I
That are,
mean, but
yeah.
that happens. That's happened before. Like,
Kareem and Magic. Who do you take? I would take Magic over
if
Kareem.
I had to pick one,
Yeah.
like to retire a jersey,
Like for example, Shaq and Kobe. Who do you take all time in Laker history? I would take Kobe over Shaq.
what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Like, what do we?
Jersey retirements and stuff like that, as far as the culture
Okay.
builders.
Oh,
Now,
the culture
Kobe,
builders. Yeah, Kobe, and then it would be I would say Magic for the Lakers. I was like Jordan for the Bulls. Like, obviously, yes, if you're picking one jersey in the franchise, like, but that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You can pick multiple numbers.
no,
Um,
what I'm saying to you is like, if we're putting in perspective certain players versus other players, then you understand the concept behind why a LeBron James would have less consideration of getting a jersey retired than like someone like Steph Curry or something like that.
yeah,
Or
true. But I think I don't know. Maybe that's your because maybe that's like kind of how you feel about it. They were talking about putting a statue for LeBron James in Miami. If they were talking about that, then the jersey retirement can't be far off, and that's be considered even less of a
but who do they have in Miami? They have D Wade and nobody else yet.
yeah. But I'm just saying to your point, like if you're saying like you feel like it may not be, it's like that's probably more for culture. I'm just saying they were talking about putting a statue for LeBron in Miami. I don't think it was that far. First of all, I have a whole different
Well, who
opinion.
was talking about it? Was it Pat Riley? Who was it? Who was actually who
Um,
was talking
I
about it?
think it was. I don't remember the specific people. People in the NBA, yes, but I don't remember who it was. I just remember. I just remember it was. It's like a. It was like a topic. It was a conversation. I think D Wade was a part of the conversation at one point. Like he was talking about it himself. Um, so that's why I was like, what? You wouldn't like. I mean, I get what you're saying,
I'm
but
not saying that I wouldn't. I said that I don't think it would happen because of
hmm,
who Pat Riley is.
yeah, I mean, yeah, for who Pat Riley is, yeah, nah. I mean, he probably ain't gonna hang up nobody's. But I mean, except for what's the name? But
You think Jimmy Butler deserves it?
mm,
Hey,
that's
he
tough.
led them to two finals. He led
Deserves it?
them to two
Actually,
finals.
yes. I'm gonna say yes. If you're talking about deserves it at a time where he's not the superstar, pretty much people had Miami down and out. Like when he first got there, people had Miami down and out because they didn't have a second star. Next thing you know, he makes the finals. People say it was a fluke. Makes it to another conference finals, and they were like, "Oh, they're still
A
good."
shot away. A
Makes it
shot
to the
away from making.
finals. Yeah, oh yeah, a shot away from making it to the finals. And then they were like, "Oh snap!" Makes it to the another finals. I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute."
Not
I
gonna lie, bro. If they would have made it to that finals in 2020, was it two?
think it was 20.
They would have had
Yeah,
more of a chance. They, in my opinion, they would have had more of a chance than the Celtics because Jimmy Butler's been there before,
yeah.
and I think that the
Not just
size,
not just been there before, but against a generational talent. He went up against LeBron James in the finals, so
right?
he
Yeah,
has that experience of like not just like the best player in the league. No, 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 no. We talking about generational, top five, top 10, like one of those guys.
yeah, and it's like also the mentality perspective of it. I think that mentally he would have been more prepared than Jason Tatum would have been prepared.
Yeah. Because I think people, because I remember at that time, people were like, well, Jason Tatum went up against LeBron in Cleveland when he was a rookie, but I'm like, that's different. First of all, it was the Eastern Conference Finals, so it did have stakes on the line. You can't take that away. It was a game seven state, I get it.
They were playing with house money too because
Yep.
they were playing with house money.
Playing with
There
house
weren't
money.
expectations.
Even though people had them winning now. Don't get it wrong. They were playing house money, but people definitely had them beating the Cavs. Because remember, Kevin Love was out for game seven. So, like, or yeah, it was game six or game seven, maybe both. One of those games or both. I do remember that. But that was like I said, they were playing my house money. They were expected to win, but this time it's different. You're in the finals. You're going to be against Steph Curry, with the actual decent team. I mean, the Cavs at that point, ugh, the Warriors were at least at their worst decent, like pretty decent. So yeah, that man, Jimmy Butler. Man.
Also, another thing, another subject. So Zion Williamson.
Oh, I
It's
don't want to talk about this
amazing.
guy. I don't want
It's
to talk about this guy.
amazing.
Oh, no,
It's
I don't want to talk about
amazing
Zion, bro.
how things turned around because I was listening to an interview and he was saying whoever trades for Zion is trading for a risk. And I'm like, bro, 5 years ago, that was completely different.
Yep.
I personally want him on the Warriors because at least something. I'm not gonna lie, because he may be cheap, as far as what you would need to give up for him. And if he's good in Golden State, that's a huge upside. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
because Golden State now they're not exactly the same organizationally as they were before, but they were turning players. They were making others better. Now, a lot of them, like Iguodala was retired, John was better. They had better role players, more vets. Um, but hey, JaVale McGee, he looked a lot. He played a role, but he looked
He
really
looked a
good.
lot better. Yeah.
He looked a lot better. That kind of revitalized his career. He showed the world, okay, I'm not just a laughing stock. I'm actually a good NBA player.
Right. Right.
Kevin Durant even got better defensively.
I
Um,
mean, bro, they was talking about this dude. Who was it? Like top three, top five voting for defensive player of the year. Like I
yeah,
remember he was around.
he actually had consideration.
Yeah. I was like,
Wait,
boy, he
I
was
got
averaging
I got a
two blocks.
notification from Bleacher Report.
Well,
Kaminga out 3 weeks.
that's not funny, but like,
It's not funny. but it's just the conversation and how things were going. So yeah,
And I just
so
got the same notification.
yeah,
um,
that's
really
not.
quickly, let's talk about we were talking about Steph and LeBron. You know, the Warriors and the Lakers this year. You know, they kind of flipped. They started off at I can't remember exactly. It looked like they were on an even track, and then the Warriors were going up, Lakers was going down, and then it just kind of did this, and now the
The
Lakers.
Lakers to me are on a rocky hill. They were up, down, up, down, up, down. The
I
Warriors were
mean,
up and they're just down.
yeah,
Now they're
I
like
mean, no,
climbing
no,
up.
no. The Lakers, no, bro. They want to up, down, up, down. They dropped.
They were 3-0. They were 3-0 and they went down. And they got better and then got worse again. They
Yeah, but
just
at
been
one point, once they got down to like 8, 9, 10, they were stuck there. Like they just got up to the 5, 6 seed or whatever they are. They were stuck down there for a minute. Like, because they were 3-0. Even then, I wouldn't even say that's like that was a great start, but I think they lost like
they went through a mini losing streak and then they went through another winning streak because they were saying, "Oh, they're back to what they were in the beginning of the season," and then they kind of fell off after that. Then it was like, I will say
yeah.
this: I'm not sure about how many games, et cetera, et cetera. But if I were to guess, it was 3 or 4 games that were good,
Mhm.
3 to 5 games that were bad, and then like 3 to 5 games that were good, and then and then they got bad for like 7, 8, 9,
I
10, or
mean
whatever.
that happened, yes, but the record is what I mean by up down, like the overall because there was a meme going around. It was like they had the same record last year at this time, like Darvin Ham. It was like
12-12 or some 12 and
yeah. So it's not like the streak is up, down, up, down. I mean, in general, they started off playing well and then they just weren't playing well. And then now they're starting to play well. The whole winning loss, they can still be playing bad and winning. I'm just saying, like in general,
Let me
they
look at it. Look while you're talking. Let me look at the standings real quick.
oh, okay. But they can be playing well. I mean, playing bad and winning, but their overall trajectory, like yes, the little small winning streaks, that's factoring in. But their overall trajectory, they started off going up, and then they kind of like went down. I think they plateaued while going down, and then they kind of went back up again. And then the Warriors were like, yeah, like you said, they just I don't know what happened to them.
The Warriors have just been mid. So the Warriors, they were what 12 or 15. I forgot if they were 15-3 or if they were no, they were 12 and
They were
three.
yeah, they were like
They were
11
12
3.
and three.
Yeah,
Then they plummeted, and then now they're just maintaining whatever it is because now they're 18-16. So I think at a point they were like 15-12 or something
mm-hmm.
because they had lost like three, like they won three and they lost like 10 or something like that, so,
Yeah,
or 12 or something like that. So, but now they're plateauing into midness. Now with the Lakers, they're
midness.
actually, depending on where they were beforehand, they're actually getting better. They can be a 4 seed within a matter of a couple of days
Yeah,
behind
I
the
mean
good team.
the only thing that factors in for the Lakers is I mean because at first I was gonna say oh they're probably gonna start slipping again, but then I was like okay they got different players, so maybe this is like what happened a couple years ago when they made the trade and then they just started playing better. That was different because it was toward the end and they traded away like 3 players, 4 players, but still same idea. Like they make a trade, okay, now they're just gonna be generally playing better. You're not gonna be seeing what you saw in the first half or the first quarter of the season or whatever.
Yeah. Something that's interesting, and I'm looking at the Western Conference standings. The Kings might be out. The Suns are the 12th seed right now. That's sickening.
Oh,
I don't care what.
oh, the Suns are the 12
I
seed.
don't care what injuries happen, bro. If you're a 12 seed, they started off.
They were
They made
just
us think. They
wait,
made us
wait.
think they were good. They made us think they were decent, bro.
They were like 9, 10, like 2 days
Yeah,
ago, three
yeah,
days ago.
yeah. It's like looking good. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Look at the standings.
If they start losing a little bit more, they might be with the Blazers. They're only 3 games above the Blazers right now.
I'm looking at they've lost
They
4
have
games in a
games.
row.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Oh no.
Oh
You know
wow.
what's even tougher? The Spurs are in the play-in. The Spurs, the Spurs have a
The
chance. They have a
Spurs do have a
chance to make
chance.
the playoffs.
They
I'm
have
not joking.
to no, they do. And yeah, they have a chance. I'm looking at 18 and 17. Because right, oh, Dallas has lost 4 in a row. Okay, they might slip. They may. I mean, they could like go back on a winning streak,
The
but
Clippers are really good though for what they have. I think the Clippers are on paper for what they have. Now they have Norman Powell playing really well, but they're, in my opinion, they're overachieving
they are. They are. I don't think
with
they're.
seed, but because the West is so from 2 to like basically 10, it's so close together
Yeah.
that a 7 seed isn't that not impressive. It's more impressive being a 7 seed for that team than it would be, in general.
Man, the
But yeah,
Thunder were just damn, they were, man, 30-5, bro.
yeah, bro. They wait. You know what's tough? I saw a few days ago someone was saying how the Cavs are on a 70-win pace, and the Thunder only lost one more game than them. Like, what? Yo, if you have two, hey, we're probably gonna have two teams winning 60 games.
Yep. I mean, it's happened before, but like it happened in a while. It's been a
Oh, the
while.
Celtics may not win 60. Well, they might win 60. Nah, the Celtics may not win 60 games because they already lost 10.
There's like what?
They're 26-10.
Hold on, wait. They played about 30 to 35 games so far. So it's like
36.
40, there's like 45 games left in the season.
Okay, so yeah, so they would literally have to only lose 12 more games in
That's
their season.
yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna happen. 12, nah.
It's close. It's possible. I would say more so 58, but if they get to flat out 60, they might. So the reason I'm looking is because I'm looking at each conference. So we may or may not have two 60-win seasons in the East and the 60-win season in the West. Now, if someone gets 70 and then they get 60, I'm like, hey, bruh, hey, this is kind of scary. Now, the Thunder look really good. The Rockets look surprisingly really good. And the Grizzlies, even though John Morant's injured, I think looks pretty
Yeah.
good.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do the mock playoff thing. We're a third of a way into the season. There's been about 35 games. So like we're a little bit over a third into the season. Let's look at the standings right now. And let's look at who we will pick to win, yada, 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 all the way up until we don't have to do finals. Maybe, I mean, we can, but yeah, let's go all the way up to the finals. Okay, so let's start with the West. So it would be the 9 and the 10 playing the 7 and wait, no. Yeah. Yeah, 7 and 8 play each other, 9, 10 play each other for the playing games. Who loses between the Spurs and the Timberwolves? I think that loser plays
It's gone.
that's go okay, they're gone. That right. And then because they're right, they okay, so that loser's gone. Who do you think wins?
Warriors will win. Warriors will win against Clippers, and then
So the Clippers will go on to face the winner of the 9-10. Yeah, because they lost. But they get a second chance since they were in that
you're right.
7 spot. Yeah.
You're right. So not gonna lie, whoever wins 9-10 is gonna win. So I do think that I'm not gonna lie. Favoritism wants me to pick the Spurs, not
I
the
know. I'm gonna
Timberwolves. You
go with the
thought I was gonna
Spurs
say
too. I'm gonna go. Yeah.
You thought I was gonna say Timberwolls because I'm a Timberwolves fan, but hey, bro, when it comes to Wemby,
For the
hey,
sake of this conversation, I would say the Spurs beat the Timberwolves. I think if we're talking about right now, because also the Timberwolves just lost 3 in a row. Their momentum is not.
and then it only takes one game to lose. And I'm
Not
not
good.
gonna lie, Wemby, if he has a good game, bro, it
Oh, it's
might be over.
over. It's over.
It may be over.
They don't have Karl Anthony Towns. Oh no, they don't got the bodies no more. they don't, they they ain't got the bodies no more. I think the Spurs take out the Timberwolves. Okay, you said the Warriors beat the Clippers, so then that means the Clippers will face the Spurs for the 8 seed.
Spurs.
Man, sick, bro. All right. Okay, I agree. I actually agree. I think the Spurs win the whole play-in situation. And I'm not even gonna lie. I think that's strictly because of Wemby. I think like
Yep.
in those games, I mean, I think, yeah. So then you have Spurs as the 8 seed, Warriors as a 7 seed. So let's start with the 1-8. You have Thunder and the Spurs. I do think the Thunder would win.
Thunder, yeah.
I think those Spurs will go on their magic run, beat a couple teams, and it'll be over in the first round. Warriors, okay.
4 or 5 games, maybe.
I'll say 5 games. I think Spurs win at home for one of their games, but the Thunder would probably be too much. It would be too much.
Yeah.
The Thunder won 15 games in a row. I just saw that. What is going on?
Yeah, I saw that. I thought they had a 13 game. Oh, that was like 2 days ago,
It was
bro.
2 days ago. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Anyway, yeah. Warriors and the Rockets. I think the Warriors do win. I think the Warriors win in, I'll say 6, because I'm gonna give some validity to the Rockets a little bit here. They are a 2 seed. I think the Warriors will take them out in 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 7-game series and then the Rockets somehow just, I wouldn't be surprised. I just wouldn't be surprised. But I do think the Warriors will win in 6.
Yeah, I think so too. So Grizzlies versus Mavericks.
No, Grizzlies and 3. Yeah. Wait, I thought you said okay. Yeah. Grizzlies versus Mavericks. I'm actually gonna go Dallas here.
Dallas.
Dallas wins in 6. I
Only
think.
because of Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah, you can't stop the duo.
Close. It's close.
It's close, but they don't have 2 superstars. Like they don't have 2, and they're not like the Celtics where they're a great team. They are a great team, but they're not the Celtics' great team. Like that's a whole different juggernaut.
You know, what's funny is their records are actually comparable to the Celtics. But yeah. I think, yeah.
Then you have, oh God, Lakers and the Nuggets. Nuggets, bro. I'm gonna take the Nuggets, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. They have yet to beat the Lakers have yet to beat the Nuggets in the playoffs.
I'm taking Nuggets.
I'm taking the Nuggets. They're winning in. I think they'll give a little bit more of a run for their money because the Nuggets don't look as good. But it would go 6. Nuggets win.
Okay, so who would be the next round then? How would that go?
So then the next round, I think it would be. So the Warriors would go on to win their series. The Mavericks would go on to win their series. The Nuggets go on to win their series. And
so it'll be Thunder versus Nuggets, and then Mavericks versus Warriors.
Yep.
Wait.
Yep.
The narrative.
Yep. It'll be Mavericks versus Warriors, and then the Thunder versus the Nuggets.
Now
Thunder would beat the Nuggets. I think it would go
6.
6 or 7. I want to say 7.
And that's only because of the supporting cast. You have to depend on them in a playoff series.
Yeah.
If it was like if it was like a year or 2 ago, then I would take the Nuggets.
Yeah, but I think I think it would go 7 because the Nuggets, I think they would have one bad game at home. Like, I think they would, I don't know. I think they would have like one bad game at home, which would, force 7 games because they're the 1 seed, so they have the advantage. So that one bad home game would like force it to go 7. The Mavericks, I do think the Mavericks do win. I do think, once again, Steph by himself. And I think Draymond could even have a breakout. I think Draymond would have a breakout game because it's against Clay. And like I think he would have those games where he has like 20 points and like 9 rebounds, like 7 assists, and he made like 3 threes. And I think it would probably go 6 or 7 games, but I do think the Mavericks end up winning.
Yeah. I do think I will say this: if there was an argument if the Warriors winning, it would only be because Klay Thompson on the other side and the competitive nature of
Curry. Yeah. Like it would, like Curry and Draymond would have to go crazy with the supporting cast doing like what they did in 2022
with the roster they have right now. If they like make a move to where they actually become a better team,
then it looks different.
Yeah. So I agree. I would take the Mavericks over the Warriors there.
So the Western Conference Finals is Mavericks versus the Nuggets. Sure. I got Dallas.
Thunder, right?
Oh snap! No. Yeah. Thunder. I got Thunder. Yeah. I was thinking Nuggets versus Lakers, and they won that series, but they played another one. Yeah. So Thunder versus Mavericks. Excuse me.
Interesting because the Mavericks won last year, but the Thunder is better because remember Chet's injured right now. He's coming back. They have more size. They have more playmaking. They have better defense. Really, I haven't looked at their defensive ratings yet. Not yet, but so far. I mean, recently, but they were on pace to have one of the greatest defenses of all time. The Thunder.
That's true. I just think it's one of those situations where I could be wrong. The Thunder could just straight up outplay the Mavericks. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's the same thing like last year, but almost what happened to the Timberwolves. Like the Timberwolves look like their defense, they looked like they were the best defensive team in the playoffs. They were beating the best team in the league, went up against Mavericks. That experience, that type of talent, you can't replicate that. Like, and I think the same thing would happen against the Thunder. You can't replicate Luka, Kyrie, like having that type of duo And it's not like the Suns where like the team's old. You got Kevin Durant, about no, no, no. Luka's still in his prime. Kyrie tail end, but he ain't 36, 37. Like he ain't up there. So
All I gotta say though, Deontay, is their opponents' points per game. They're holding their teams to 103 points. They have the number
the
one
Thunder,
defensive rating. Yeah, they have the number one defensive rating in the league. So they're the best defense in the league.
they are. I think I don't know though. That playoffs, bro. I think it's like I said, bro. It's just I think I honestly like if the Thunder win, bro. I feel like it would have to go 6 or 7 games or 7 games. I don't think we go six. It would have to go seven. And I really just think Luka and Kyrie, bro. That like we saw it. Kyrie was struggling in that one playoff series. The next one and opened his mouth. Game over. Game over. It was done. Like you watched the game and you knew there's nothing they can do. Like you knew it. Like you knew it.
Well, okay, so think of it like this though, Deontay. Um, if you're thinking about it from matchup perspective,
Mm-hmm.
Shea and Luka are canceling each other out. The only way that Luka would have the advantage, well, really they're both clutch. To be honest with
They
you,
both are. Yeah.
they're both clutch. Luka's proven it more that he's clutch. So I would say whoever's more clutch, that would be the advantage for them,
Yeah.
right? So when it comes to Kyrie, I mean Jalen Williams, I mean they can somewhat match production,
Nah,
but
bro. The only way you stopping Kyrie, you gotta hope he has a bad series. There's no, I don't think that's what I'm saying. With Kyrie and Shea, you're right. They can't. There ain't no canceling Kyrie. You just gotta hope he has bad games.
well, then again, with when it comes to that, okay, so you can limit certain things to where make Kyrie maybe a shooter. Don't let him get to the rim. Okay, okay, so the other points I was going to make is the bigs. I think the Thunder have the advantage when it comes to the bigs
They
because
do.
Lively and Gafford, they're pretty good, especially in the playoffs. But I think Chet and Hardenstein can match that production, if not do more. Then also Chet is a shooter, so you're gonna have to have someone to always stand on the 3 point line that takes away from the Mavericks' defense because you don't have a rim protector then. Depending on if both of them are playing at the same time, then Hardenstein, he's very smart. He's a smart player.
Yeah, he's a
So
smart player. Yeah.
it's a big body, makes common plays. So I don't know, like that. And Alex Caruso can guard Kyrie. No one's gonna stop Kyrie, but hey, he's one of the
All
best
I gotta
defenders.
say is, bro, like I said, we saw the Timberwolves hounding the Nuggets, and I remember how people talked about their defense, and they got slaughtered by the Mavericks. So
Well, I think that's more so because of Rudy Gobert, because what made the defense in the Nugget series so good is that perimeter defense, which is locked down.
okay.
I think that when it comes to the style of Luca, the pick and rolls, the high pick and rolls, trying to get the switches and stuff like that. Well, Jamal Murray hasn't been the same since I don't know when. But then also with Luca, probably a different play style as well, more
Mhm.
prolific, bigger, stronger. So they didn't have the matchup, defenders to actually match up with Luca because Jamal Murray's only like 6'4", 6'5", and
And
he's
you said
not.
the Thunder they have the defensive personnel to give him more problems. I
Yeah,
think
because remember, because when did Luca have his worst series last year against Lou Dort?
that's right. That was his worst series.
He's bigger and stronger. Or Lou Dort's bigger and stronger than the other defenders
Yeah,
that
right,
would.
tradition. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you think it can be well, not in the same result as far as a sweep, but kind of like what the Celtics did to Brooklyn, where you think their team defense could actually win them the series, even though the Nets had KD and Kyrie, like the superstars, the team defense of the Celtics were just too much.
I think the Thunder could win a series. Yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, yes. But then also I think that I wouldn't just take the Mavericks again, but it's really close. It's 50-50. It's like a 55-45.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
55.
55-45 for me.
Okay,
So
so then
whatever.
you have the Thunder winning basically the conference. I mean the whole the Western Conference through what we just did. You
Yes.
have the Thunder.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's so weird to think about that, like as a general question, and then you go through the playoff bracket, and it's like, oh well, yeah, like yeah. But if you just ask that as a general question, you probably wouldn't say it that. in that matter, you would, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me look up some more stuff. But
I was gonna go
so
into the Eastern Conference.
like a lot of Eastern Conference is not as entertaining, bro, because then dudes. Anyway,
This ought to
okay.
be easy then. All right, so
Let's see here.
yeah, go ahead and look up what you about to look up real quick.
I mean, the Dallas Mavericks, okay, it's pretty even though, because I'll say this: the OKC Thunder, they're first in defense and they're seventh in offense. Um, the Mavericks, as of this recording, is fifth in offense and 12th in defense.
Mm.
So they're hovering around top 10 in both. Both teams are top 10 in both,
Yep.
essentially,
And
or at least
you got to think about it like this way too. Those ratings are based on the entire league, right? But I wish, I mean, there are stats. You can go break it down. You can go if you go look up numbers against certain teams with certain play styles, and then that'll tell you a little bit more. Because that's one thing I also keep in mind. They be saying, "Oh, they're this, they're this, they're this." Yes, that does matter because it represents the dominance over the league, but that's factoring in so many different teams, and most teams or some teams can have a different play style, which that rating isn't quite the same rating, if you get what I'm saying. Matchups, basically, is matchups.
Okay. So, in my opinion, well, dang, the Eastern Conference is interesting as well.
Okay,
But
let's go through it. All right, so we got the play in, right? So once again, you got 7-8 plays 9-10. Oh God, the Pistons and the
I
Bulls.
don't care about the play.
Yeah, I don't care about none of it. Actually, as a Hawks, Atlanta native, I guess I have
What's this? Don't.
to. No, Pistons and Bulls. I got the Pistons winning that to go on to
It's
yep.
yeah.
Hey, Kay Cunningham, that man gonna go crazy, bro. Um, and then the Hawks, I got the Hawks beating the Pacers. So then that would mean the Bulls are out. The Hawks stay the 7 seed. The Pacers play the Pistons for the 8 seed. I will have to go with. I'm not gonna lie, I'll still go with the Pistons. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hey, Pistons versus who?
The Pacers. I think I'll take the Pistons. I would take. I would take the Pistons. Yeah.
Wait, isn't Jaden Ivey? Is he injured the whole season?
No, let me look it up. Hold on.
Um, the Pistons versus the Pacers. No, no, I'll take the Pacers.
You take the Pacers? Okay. Well, neither one of them teams will make it far. So
Yeah, yeah.
this ain't like the West where it's like, oh no, the Spurs could actually make it to the conference or whatever. I don't know. So okay, let's just well, yeah. So that means Hawks at 7. We'll say Pacers at 8. Okay, Pacers versus Cavs, first round. Cavs are going to destroy them. No, not a question. Not even a conversation. They would probably sweep them, to be honest. Gentleman sweep, if anything. Next up, you have the Hawks and the Celtics. I actually think that series will go 6. I'm not even gonna lie to you. For some odd reason, I think the Celtics are gonna do some Celtics crap.
Wait.
What?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because they always that's happened like the last 2 years, bro.
Yeah. Like the Celtics gonna do some Celtics crap where it gives the Hawks a chance, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be a 6-game series, and it's gonna be something like that. I would be surprised if it's a sweep or a gentleman sweep. But I still think the Celtics win. It would just be in 6 games because they would, like I said, pull some Celtics crap and start losing. Um, Heat versus Knicks. Oh, well, as of right now, the Knicks, the Heat, yeah,
No, the Knicks
yeah, the
because
Knicks, yeah,
Jimmy
yeah,
Butler's not going to play in that
yeah.
series,
He's not
bro.
gonna play. Yeah, nah, yeah, nah.
If he
The Knicks,
does, then still the Knicks, in my opinion. But you know,
and then you got the Bucks and the Magic. I'm not gonna lie,
that's interesting.
that's
Bro.
very yeah. I that
6-7 game series, bro.
have they played each other this year? I'm gonna look. Hold on.
Yeah, the Magic are they're very formidable. Now, one thing is a question is
They
if
did. They
there's
played December, and the Bucks won by 5. Wait,
injuries
that
have
was
been
that was a Cup semifinal. So they won a high state game.
yeah, but their best player was injured.
Oh yeah, Paolo wasn't playing.
Paolo was injured.
Yeah, he wasn't playing. That's
So
right.
this playoff matchup depends on the Magic's injuries. If the Magic are injured, it's a 5-game series going to the Bucks. If the Magic's fully healthy, now depending on how they look with Paolo and Franz and everybody else in the lineup,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Oh, they play on the 15th. Oh, they play each other on the 15th this month.
I don't know if everybody's gonna be healthy though.
Nah, they're not. They're not gonna be healthy. Okay, based on what we've seen, okay, they won the cup game, but Paolo wasn't playing. They won by 5. It was a high state game, but they still won by 5.
Remember that people were like almost criticizing the Bucks because they should have won by more.
Yep, I remember that.
Because isn't it? Wait, that may have been what day was that? December what?
10th.
I'm about to say because I think Franz
Yep.
Wagner got
Yep.
injured.
Yep. That was December 10th.
I think he got injured, and then they like just kept staying in games, even though they had like 2 of their best players gone. So
I'm gonna say for the series, 7 games.
I'm gonna have to give it to the Bucks.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy to get to the Bucks.
To be honest, now I'm not happy to say that because the Magic look like a team they can be very dangerous in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the Magic it would be the unfortunate first round of facing the Bucks. It's just if they went up against the Heat, Hawks, Pacers, even the Knicks, I think they would have a little bit of a better chance. But I think against the Bucks in the first round,
if the Bucks lose that series, bro, hot take, something's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think Giannis probably gonna leave. They're gonna blow something up. They're gonna make trades. Something's gonna happen if they lose that series.
So we got the Bucks winning. So the winners of the first round, you have the Cavs won their first round against the Pacers. Celtics beats the Hawks. Knicks beat the Heat. Bucks beat the Magic. So the Cavs will go on to face. They beat the AC. They're going.
Does that have to work?
No. Because the top 2 teams are the opposite ends of the bracket. Because that's why the 1 plays 8 and then 2 plays 7. So when you look at it, yeah, when you look at the bracket, it's like it shrinks in, right? Like it shrinks in. So you have the 1 and 8 at the top and the 2 and the 7 on the bottom. So
yeah, but we're doing the West. Weren't we following that after the first round? Then anyway, whatever.
That's how we did it. I think. Hey, if you're watching this, whoever's watching this video, just somebody make a bracket and see if you did this right.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But yeah. So the winner of the 1-8 goes up against the 4-5, and the winner of the 2-7 goes up against.
I don't think we
3-6.
We may have. I'm not sure.
I think that's right. No. Because I'm literally thinking about it. The 1 and the 2, they're always on the opposite ends of the bracket. So 1-8 plays each other. 2-7 plays each other, and I think the net like is always four series in the first round. So then the other 2 series, it's 3-6, 4-5.
Yeah, because I'm used to seeing the bracket so much that's like when I don't see it in front of me, it's like, yeah, it's weird. But either way,
so yeah, Cavs will go on to face the
Bucks.
Yes, I think that's how that works. Once again, anybody watching this video, somebody do this. But for this conversation, we're gonna say that the Cavs go up against the Bucks. I think the Cavs win. I think the Cavs win. I would say 6 games. I mean, they got Darvin.
Yeah, it's a masterclass of a series like it did in the finals. That would.
But the difference is they got Darvin Ham and Doc Rivers over there. So I don't think that's gonna be well deeper into the playoffs, especially against the Cavs. Nah, bro.
Okay, so Celtics versus what the wait.
It'd be the Knicks. Yeah, the Knicks. Yeah, Celtics versus Knicks. Yep. Celtics. I'm gonna go Celtics. I'm gonna go Celtics. Nah, I know what you're thinking. I want to say Knicks in 7, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I want to say 6 Knicks in 7. By the way, you have 3 minutes on this next one.
So hot take: if the Knicks win against the Celtics, they're going to the finals.
Oh yeah. If the Knicks beat the Celtics, they're going to the finals. They would beat the Cavs in the next round if they go to the finals.
Not gonna lie, the Knicks might beat the Celtics.
No. I'm gonna go. Okay, we have to agree on this so we can finish this. It's different when we talking about the AC. That's different. We talking about the top 3. We gotta. All right, you know what? Okay, we'll play out scenario. Knicks beat the Celtics, they would then beat the Cavs to go to the finals. If the Celtics beat the Knicks, does the Celtics beat the Cavs to go to the finals? I think the Cavs beat. I think the Cavs beat the Celtics, but they don't beat the Knicks.
This is really close. I'm not gonna lie because there's reasons why all of them are probably gonna win. Never basing off of seeding, then I think the Celtics have a better chance of being the Cavs, but I don't want to say I'm taking the Knicks all the way. That'll be stupid. That'll be dumb. I'll say
Okay.
I'll go with my instinct and
My
say
instinct tells me
Celtics versus Thunder.
Celtics versus Thunder in the finals. That's your final. Okay. I can agree with that. Okay,
Don't
based on what we just did, based on today's standings, we got Thunder versus the Celtics in the finals. Who wins? I think the Celtics win.
Celtics.
Yep.
Celtics because they
They
have
have more
Jamal.
firepower. They can match
Jamal.
defensively, but they have more firepower.
And if Kristaps Porzingis is healthy, I think. But if he's injured, and let's say Porzingis isn't in the lineup, then I would say the Thunder may have a chance to take it to 7
Yeah.
and do a toss up after that. But
The only
yeah.
thing that would counter the Celtics, Trae Young. No, just kidding. No,
Yeah.
but you need basically a generational talent. Like no matter what your team looks like, if the Thunder had a generational talent, oh, they would have a better chance. That's the only thing that's really stopping the Celtics. Or your team is just equally as good type of situation. Oh, we got less than a minute. We got to wrap this up. Okay, so Celtics win the finals based on today.
Reluctantly, yeah.
Nice. Well, that was another episode of DJ's podcast. We talked about a lot of interesting things. The next episode, I have no idea what we're going to talk about. So, but no, seriously, whoever watched this video, somebody do the bracket and make sure we did that right. I'm pretty sure we messed up.
I don't know.
But it's all good because we're fans at the end of the day. We love basketball. We love the NBA. So, anything you want to say, Justin?
Nah.
Cool. All right, we'll catch